It's Patrick, founder of Screenplay app, the Alpha Tuning Screenwriters. Hotel Rwanda is such an amazing screenplay. In the film, when I saw the film, I was at the edge of my seat like this. It was just like the conflict, tension, and suspense. It was just all around me. Funny story is, I saw the film before I read the screenplay. The film was just nothing but conflict, tension, and obstacles. I thought, I'm gonna be honest, right? I thought when I read the screenplay, some of the magic that I felt in the film was gonna go away. That wasn't the case at all. Yes, the direction, acting, and everything that was involved with the film played a major part of me being at the edge of my seat. However, when I read the screenplay, I honestly felt the same emotion that I felt when I watched the film. Let's talk about some of the things that Hotel Rwanda does so well. Suspense. First, before I talk about that, the first half of the screenplay was world building. It was nothing about introducing us to the characters, the hotel, obviously, in the world. It did such an amazing job with the first half of the screenplay. It was a slow building, though. It was slow building. It was still entertaining. The story didn't pick up until the second half of the screenplay. The second half of the story is, as to say, when ish hit the fan. It really, really picked up on the second half. Let's talk about the tension. The tension was so there on the pages. When I watched the film, you felt the tension building through the characters' interactions. The tension was still on the pages. It was incredible how the writers were able to capture the tension on the pages. The second thing the story and the screenplay did so well was the conflict. I've talked about this before in other videos. If you don't have conflicts in your story, you're going to lose your reader right away. This story, especially in the second half, had conflicts everywhere. I'm talking about if they were going to get out of the hotel, if some of the characters were going to survive, how enemies became friends and friends became enemies, or were they? It was just conflict everywhere. And the third thing the story did well was the suspense. I mean, if you talk about adding tension, conflict, and now you're adding suspense, there's no wonder why this film was so amazing and why this screenplay worked so well. There was just suspense everywhere. You wasn't sure what a particular character was going to do. Just when you think, oh, I know this character is not going to betray this person, or this character is going to help this person. It was just suspense. You wasn't sure what was happening. This story worked so well. One particular scene that stood out to me, I'm sure to you too, if you've seen the film, is this. I'm not going to tell you too much about this particular scene. When I watched the film, I saw this scene. I think some of y'all know what I'm talking about. It involved a road, and it was foggy and dark. I'll leave it at that. When I saw the scene when I was watching the film, I thought to myself, this is some messed up. Did this really happen? Obviously, it did happen. Hotel Rwanda, if you don't know, is based on a true story. I'm sure there are some things that were dramatized for dramatic sake. I don't know which part of it was dramatized. I would have to say, if I had to guess from the articles I've read about the incident, I would have to say 90% of the story was true. That particular scene I'm talking about, it was so, yeah, it it lived with me for a while, and I'm sure for you too. To think something like that actually happened, the world is a crazy place. When I saw this particular scene I'm talking about, I thought to myself, okay, this is graphic. When I read this screenplay, I mean, mind you, the visuals is something to keep you traumatized. There are some things that the visuals doesn't show. When you read it though, they describe the scene so graphically. The writing impacted me more than the visuals. Hotel Rwanda is one of those stories where it is a sad, sad moment for humanity. It needed to be told. Let's say you want to do something based on a true story. Hotel Rwanda is a great study material. If you have something out there you want to do based on a true story, first, you have to have a reason why you want to do it. You have to have a connection to it. Is there something that you're passionate about? The more passion you have for a story, the more likely the passion will bleed on the pages. That's the first thing. Find that true story you want to do. Do your research. As a creative, you have the ability to dramatize some things. At the same time, you have to make sure you keep true to the original story. Hotel Rwanda, I think, balances it well. It tells the entertaining story, a dramatic story, suspenseful story, while at the same time keeping it true to the true history of what happened. Hotel Rwanda is a great way to know how to build a 3-act structure strongly. The first half, world building. Second half, everything happens. and the last final act is when it brings everything together. It ended very well. Like this video if you plan on writing a second half as good as Hotel Rwanda, or subscribe if you're all about conflict, tension, and suspense. If you're thinking about writing your first screenplay, go to your favorite app store, download Screenplay app today. Fade out.